Hello everyone, in this video I'll be showing you how to play Hela in Marvel Rivals. In this ultimate guide, I'll be showing you some tips and tricks to get the most out of her because I see some people that are playing with her and not doing things as optimally as they can be done. So I'll be breaking down some of the best strategies and in general how to play her to get a bunch of knockouts. So first and foremost, her main fire attack. This is what makes Hela broken. You'll hear that Hela gets banned in competitive play often, and the reason is pretty much purely due to not just her main attack, but also her ultimate. But her main attack does a ton of damage. It's pretty unfair. It can attack pretty quickly, and it's almost like a marksman rifle. That's how you want to look at it. You don't actually benefit. I would not recommend holding down your fire because you only have 8 shots, and it's hard to focus, as you can see there. Like, you can't really focus on getting your shots off unless you're just tapping whenever you got your headshots lined up. So again, think of her main fire as almost like a marksman rifle, and you're just going to aim, and in between shots you can set up your next shot. So if you got some moving targets here, you can focus on making sure that you're going to hit your next shot, because Hela really struggles if you don't hit your shots. Also, her stun is really useful. So your ideal range is somewhere around 25 meters, so roughly around here, 30 to 20. This is like the ideal range. Any closer, you get into melee range, and that's where you're likely to get, you know, unless you can land 2 headshots really quickly, you're going to get yeeted by whoever you're going against. So like some characters that have really good close range will just close a gap on you and take you out. So you got your stun here, which is super useful. It's going to pull them together. If you got the stun, you're going to want to hit your headshot right afterwards. So that is your best opportunity whenever you get closed up on in a melee range. Making sure that you do have your stun there to be able to do that, so you can throw the stun out. Make sure you don't miss with that, as I did there. I threw it a little bit too close to us, but that stun is going to really be the way to get yourself saved. So even if you're able to, you can use your dash here to create some space. What's nice is you can move in, and it'll give you about like 20 meters of movement speed there. So that can be good for getting away if you're getting jumped. So if you're up close, it might be best just to like get a shot off, reposition yourself, and then focus on your second shot there, because that way you're surviving. It's all about survival as hell, because she has 275 health, which is not bad. She will get down pretty quickly. So that's something you want to obviously avoid if at all possible. Your alternative fire also does some pretty good damage, so you can see there. It's just a little bit of chip damage. I prefer to use your main damage, obviously, for most intensive purposes. But if you're running low on, if you need a reload and you're trying to get that last shot off, it can be a decent one to just get a little bit extra damage in. It's pretty used sparingly, kind of similar to Magneto's alt fire. It's good to get that final shot in, but it's not something you want to rely on too much. But it can be a good, again, little bit of damage. So up close, throw your orb, stun them, get the headshot, or get away. But our ultimate is really where we get a lot of our damage from. So this is literally an AC 130. You can't do it in every area, but you can see that we do quite a bit of damage. It's got big splash damage. It'll pretty much take out targets if you're able to hit multiple of them at a time. So it's great in positions. You're also invincible with your ult, so whenever you're out there in the sky, you're not invincible, but you have 650 health. Most people won't attack you while you're up in this phase, and a lot of Doctor Stranges will come and fly towards you and try to stop you from doing your attacks. So that can be something that you'll have to deal with. But you can see there, it does quite a bit of damage, and then you come back down right afterwards to be able to just continue to lay siege to the enemies with a pretty good range that you got. So Hela really does it all in terms of damage. She doesn't have much crowd control outside of her stun, but she can just hit so much damage that she's just worth playing. Again, mid-range is where she is played best, so anywhere from this 30 to 20 meters range. If you get in close, you're very likely to get taken out. But Hela's also really good at taking down tanks, because she's got such a powerful attack, and tanks are going to be bigger targets for you to attack on. So that's really where she shines, is taking out tanks. Healers too, because if you can get a couple headshots off really quickly, most people don't react until like the second or third shot, in my experience. So if you're able to get like a couple in, they may not notice that their health is almost gone. So that can be really good for taking out any type of healers, because you can just continue blasting them with your range attacks and go for a few headshots. They'll be down in no time. So that can be effective too if you need to get in close or anything. But for the most part, it's really just building up your ultimate so that you can go and blast with that. And you do a lot of damage with this, and also can have some splash, so very effective. But I'll also show this off in gameplay now so you can get an idea of how to best play Hela. Hela thrives off of vantage points like this where you can get some attacks in on the enemy without getting return fire yourself. And here's Spider-Man getting eaten off just by a blade that just happened to hit him there. But I also like to ping as Hela because you're kind of playing like a long distance, medium long distance attacker. So sometimes it's just good to be able to ping them for your teammates to help take them down. But Hela's a really big damage dealer. If you end up getting jumped, sometimes it's best just to go into your ultimate here. And they tried to take me out of it, but I was able to completely destroy them here. So that was nice, getting out of one tank and then also a Wolverine. That could have been someone that got another one of our tanks down. Unfortunately, got 12 by Jeff there. But on to the next map. We were doing pretty well here, just focusing on kind of that long, medium range here. Sometimes it's best to stick with your team as they're likely to go for others other than you, and obviously keeping your healers on right beside you there is super useful. So we're getting a bunch of hits in. It's, again, easiest to land hits on your tanks. You can also flank really well, though, and that's something that I do here in just a moment whenever Punisher comes through with his ultimate, as sometimes you just do better from the side here. So that's kind of the best way to play about it. Take as many long-range shots as you can, but if they start to target you a bit, that's when you're probably best to go off to the side here. So we're able to take Magneto out there, and then the Punisher comes in with his ultimate here, and we were able to just flank him to the side and take him out just like that. So that's exactly why a good flank game can be very monumental in this game, but you don't want to get too overextended. So if you end up in the enemy's area, that can end up with you not getting heals or just getting a bad 1v1. So it's kind of a game of knowing where to go. Also, you're pretty good at taking out things like Iron Man, especially if you're a little bit closer, because that way you're able to do a bit more damage against them. Iron Man does, especially if you're playing against some good players, they will move around quite a bit, so that can be something to focus on. But whenever you're in your ultimate, it's best to just go for healers right away. As you can see there, I took out Cloak and Dagger so that these were not getting their heals, and then we can just chip them away and get a nice easy double knockout there. And unfortunately, this Winter Soldier, who is not the best matchup, because Winter Soldier is almost like a brawler, so you don't really want to get into 1v1s unless you're at a medium long range there, and you can get the triple kills off, which is really nice. But Hela does perform best against any target that's distracted, from what I've noticed. So if you have two tanks, like we have Captain America and Thor here, which Thor has a really good team up with Hela, because anytime that I'm able to take someone out, I can revive Thor. So I was trying to get that revive off. Unfortunately, we were getting overwhelmed there. But you can revive Thor or Loki, which is really nice too. So again, if the enemies are distracted, you're going to have your best amount of time getting damage in, because this Hulk was distracted the whole time, and as they'll just continually land these shots here. So that was ideal. And again, anytime that you can take out a healer with your ultimate, that's going to be probably the best choice. And your little getaway ability here is great for anything like Psylocke's ult, which would normally take you out. This can be a good way to just avoid that altogether. But yeah, you can see here that just sticking to the backlines, jumping over the objective, and even just focusing on things that are ultimating, like the Scarlet Witch there, which would have taken out her whole team, was able to get rid of her there with no problem. So yeah, that is a guide to playing Hela in Marvel Rivals. If you found this video useful, please hit the subscribe button below. If you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comments. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all in the next video.